Welcome back in on this Tuesday afternoon. The higher the rise, the harder the fall. And we're getting our first look this afternoon inside the life of golf phenom and tabloid favorite Tiger Woods. Author of a new Tiger Woods biography is here with us today. Thrilled to have renowned author Jeff Benedict back with us here today here in Salt Lake City. Jeff, we like seeing you here in Utah, and welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me back.
Amazing new book, and this has been out for a little less than a month now, simply called Tiger Woods. You spent a long time writing this. There's a lot that went into this book, a lot of the back and forth about perhaps one of the most well-known persons in the world that we didn't really know anything about.
Yeah, he has been a very public figure since the time he was 2 years old when his father first trotted him out and put him on television. You can get on YouTube and you can actually go back and look at instances where Tiger Woods performed in front of millions of people when he was a toddler. He wasn't old enough to write his name yet. And I think that started he's had a disdain for publicity and fame that's followed him his whole life. And so although he's a very public figure, he's obsessed with privacy, and I think that's one of the things that makes him such an interesting subject for a biography, is that, yeah, we know a lot about him, but we really don't know much about him. What is he really like? Who is Tiger Woods? And that was our central question.
Which seemingly all unraveled in front of our eyes back in, what, November of 2009 or something, right? And that night in Florida with his wife, and then everything that came out after that, which is detailed in this book. A question for you, just having done this for so long, and if you're not familiar with Jeff, written a ton of books, and even some books that are now into movies, but how is this book different than, say, the last time we had a topic of one of your books, the Steve Young biography? How is this different, dealing with Tiger Woods versus Steve Young, where you had sort of the first-person account with Steve Young, and this time you didn't actually talk to Tiger Woods?
Well, in Steve's case, I mean, the difference really fundamentally is an autobiography versus a biography. And with an autobiography, typically the subject wants to hire a writer to help them write their biography, and that's what Steve did with me, and it was a wonderful 5-year process. In Tiger's case, it's a biography, so it's not writing in Tiger's voice, but it is writing from Tiger's perspective. It's from his point of view, and that's a huge challenge as a biographer when you don't have access to your subject. But in this case, for me, journalistically, this was the most challenging thing that I've ever done, which also made it probably the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
At the end of the day, after all of these years of work and the notes, and we actually had a chance to meet with Jeff this morning to talk about the process behind this book, did you learn anything that you didn't anticipate? Was there something that just blew you away that you couldn't possibly fathom? There's a lot in here.
Yeah. I mean, the honest answer to that is I learned something new about him pretty much every day that we researched this book. Our editor had given us a standard, which was, I want readers to learn one thing on every page of this book new about Tiger Woods. Well, there's 404 pages. So that's a lot of things. And for me, it was, I mean, I couldn't pinpoint one thing and say that was the most interesting thing. His childhood fascinated me because that's probably the period of his life we know the least about. Yeah. And his childhood, most people don't want to read 100 pages about somebody famous's childhood. But in Tiger's case, his childhood is so unbelievable that it holds your attention every minute.
It spans a life of perhaps one of the most well-known figures in sports and perhaps the best golfer of all times. And Tiger Woods is the name of the biography. Jeff, you're going to be here in town tonight, so if people want to come out, chat with you a little bit, get a book, and get it signed, where can they go?
We're going to be at King's English tonight, King's English Bookshop here in Salt Lake, and doing a talk and a Q&A and a signing. That
is wonderful. At 15th and 15th, if you've never been out to King's English, great spot as well here in Salt Lake. Go and check this out. Tiger Woods book signing event tonight. Jeff Benedict, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Fascinating look into one of the most fascinating figures of our modern time. Thanks. Appreciate it.